Welcome to another flight adventure. This time we're in the far north of Europe in the area around the town of Ivalo in Finland. Enjoying snow at minus 20 degrees Celsius was fun, but eventually it was time to head back. So today we'll be flying 100-year-old Finnair from Ivalo all the way to Frankfurt. Our trip starts at Ivalo airport at 7:15 in the morning. I didn't have checked luggage, so I went straight through security and found an almost empty terminal. There is a shop area for your last minute takeaways and a pretty extensive seating area. Right by the windows they have these cute table arrangements where you can nicely look outside. It was still dark, but the airport staff was already busy clearing the runway and preparing the apron for the arrival of the inbound flight. I checked out more features in the terminal, like this water bottle filling point in the bathroom and the fireplace. Soon after, landing lights appeared on the horizon as our aircraft for today's flight came into land. It was a 10-year-old Airbus A321 delivered to Finnair in October 2013. Due to its late arrival, boarding also started a bit late, but finally I found myself walking up to the aircraft across the snow-covered tarmac. The cabin looked fresh, but there were no power outlets or even USB chargers at the seats. However, the legroom in the front rows is quite generous. The crew was really friendly and provided a warm welcome. There were many Japanese tourists on board, and if my memory is correct, one of the cabin crew even greeted them in Japanese. The ground staff was de-icing the engine with what I believe to be hot air.
Yeah, so starting our journey, first about 20 minutes flight to Kittilä, and then we will continue to Helsinki. At the moment we are performing ice removal on our left engine, and we're also starting de-icing from the tail of the plane, and soon also the wings. After the de-icing is complete, we can start our engines and start our journey. I hope you enjoy your flight.
I had never seen this before, but given the temperature of minus 17 degrees Celsius, it was probably a good idea. As the sun rose higher behind the terminal, we started our pushback.
You may use smartphones and other hand.
We soon also commenced our taxi, which required a backtrack directly on the runway. On the way, I marveled one last time at the snow-covered forests up here. We then reached the turnpad at the end of the runway, turned around and rumbled out of Ivalo. The view of the sunrise was already amazing beneath the clouds, but as we were about to pass the clouds, this would become even more magnificent. Let's go through the in-flight entertainment and Wi-Fi. My flight to Helsinki had a stop in Kittilä, and as you can see on the flight map, we were already halfway through that first 20-minute flight. There is entertainment as well, like magazines, audiobooks and even little games. As for the internet, there were 2 options available, and you could pay by credit card, Alipay or Finnair points. But buying internet on a 20-minute flight is really a bit pointless, as we were already on descent into Kittilä. Flying over the snow-covered landscape was really amazing, and we even crossed a completely frozen lake. On final approach to runway 16, we passed the IVL, which is Finland's largest ski resort.
Lämpimästi tervetuloa Kittilään.
We had touched down at Kittilä airport around half an hour late, and the stop was scheduled for 14 minutes. It certainly helped though that the transit passengers continuing to Helsinki could remain on board.
Thank you, and we hope to see you again soon. If you continue to Helsinki, please remain on board during our ground time. Please identify and point out your own carry-on baggage to the cabin crew. Thank you for your cooperation.
Kittilä is a small airport that sees a lot of seasonal traffic. The stop was fairly quick, and about half an hour after we arrived, the engines were started again and we taxied out to the runway.
Oxygen masks will automatically appear above your head. Your window shade must be open.
As we are climbing out of Kittilä and leave the Lapland region behind, let's come back to the IFE. Finnair actually offers a wide variety of snack choices in their buy on board menu. And then of course I had to try out the aviation games. In the first game you have to allocate the correct runway to the approaching aircraft. I think I didn't do so bad here. The second game was about ground operations and, well, I have to say I failed miserably. Essentially, all my flights were delayed and I should probably never become a ramp agent. The crew then served the drinks, including the famous blueberry juice, which is free for all passengers. It was served in 100-year branded cups, pointing to the fact that the airline was founded on the 1st of November 1923. However, I should point out that you can actually buy that same blueberry juice brand in the supermarkets. And to be fair, it doesn't contain that many blueberries, but rather water and sugar. Not long after, we already started our descent into an overcast Helsinki.
Lämpimästi tervetuloa Helsinkiin. A warm welcome to Helsinki.
We arrived at the gate about 20 minutes late and then I made my way to the Finnair business lounge. Well, good morning from the Finnair business lounge here. My flight to Frankfurt is at around 5 p.m. and I found a very nice place here by the side, pretty undisturbed and with great runway views. The lounge is pretty good, so right now they are serving breakfast-ish, but they also have like a lentil curry with rice, very tasty, but also other like regular breakfast options and salad as well. It's a bit crowded this morning, but anyway, I have a nice space here. There's an Airbus A321 coming in. It just landed on runway 04 left and it will be taxiing past me here, hopefully. So Finnair is actually one of the oldest airlines in the world. They are in fact the 6th oldest airline in the world, and they just celebrated their 100th birthday this month. They started operations on the 1st of November 1923, and yeah, now it's November 2023, so that's 100 years. And so far, from my experiences, they've been absolutely amazing. The lounge is really nice, very light. Finnair likes to use like white colors or like bright colors. It looks pretty nice. And they're actually also one of the safest airlines in the world. They haven't had any accident or major incidents in over 30 years. That's quite remarkable and hopefully it stays that way. Just came back from the loo and wow, the lounge is really busy. Like, I think almost every seat, or I think every seat is taken. So I can't really film right now because I don't really want to film people. Maybe it will empty out later, we'll see. There's a Brathens ATR. The plane spotting at a window was amazing as one airline after the other passed by. Since the lounge had emptied out, I had a look around. The lunch buffet was small but still very nice. In the back of the lounge there are shower cabinets and lockers for hand luggage. "20 minutes before boarding, I left the lounge and headed to the gate. My ride to Frankfurt today would be on this Embraer 190, which has been with Finnair its entire life. But technically it is operated by NORA, short for Nordic Regional Airlines. Boarding started a bit late, but the flight was not full anyway. I found the seats to be very hard and not too comfortable, certainly far away from the nice Embraer cabins of lot Polish Airlines. We pushed back 10 minutes late and taxied out to runway 04 right for departure. I essentially slept almost the whole flight and woke up on descent into Frankfurt. We first approached runway 25 left, but then the pilots were allowed to make a swing over to runway 25 center. This is possible in coordination with air traffic control whenever traffic and visibility conditions at Frankfurt permit such a procedure. Landing on runway 25 center has the advantage of a shorter taxi time to the gates in the north. However, we were put up onto a stand at the far eastern end of the airport.
A warm welcome to Frankfurt. Please remain in seat and keep your safety belt fastened. Thank you. Goodbye. We hope to see you again soon aboard Finnair.
That pretty much eradicated any advantage in taxi time. In any case, I hope you liked today's impressions from the far north of Finland. Consider subscribing, and until next time, enjoy your travels.